I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I'd like to welcome Kuro Yuusha. Hi.
Hi, my name is Kuro Yuusha. You can call me Kuro for short.
Well,
I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate you coming here. How long have you been doing the VTube thing?
Surprisingly, not very long. See, before June or July of this year, I had almost no exposure to VTubing other than just seeing the occasional VTuber on YouTube when they
Mm-hmm.
make the news. But I guess I got a chance to go to Off-Kai Expo in San Jose, California, and it kind of blew me away. There was so much overlap with anime culture that I kind of was like, "Oh, this is easy to digest." And there's so many personalities and different types of people behind these VTubing characters that, you know, I'm totally going to be a fan.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
yeah.
when I walked into the industry's dealer room, as I was walking by Irium's booth, one of their staff members kind of like pulled me out of the line and was like, "Hey, do you stream?" And I'm like, "A little, like games and stuff." And next thing I know, I'm being given a QR code and being told like, "Hey, after Offkai Expo, you should totally get in touch with us and apply for this early access thing, and it'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun." And I guess at the time I didn't think too much of it, but after the event was over, I was feeling pretty energized, and I figured why not, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
I submitted my application, and we're here.
Oh, you literally got pulled out of the pack.
I literally got pulled out of the pack, which was a huge surprise because that normally staff members are just like waving, hand you flyers and stuff, but
Yeah.
no, this particular staff member was very um dedicated to the job of bringing on new talent, and
Yeah.
I have to say she did an amazing job, super friendly, and like I wasn't like yanked like 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 in some kind of cartoon or something, but like just it felt like, yeah, it's like, hey, of all the people walking through here, they pulled me in, so I'll take a look. I'll give them a listen, and
Wasn't
it
like
was
you
very impressive.
were wearing a sign that said "We'll stream for food" or anything like that.
No, no. In fact, I was actually fairly incognito. I wasn't using my real name on my badge or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing I was wearing that was easily identifiable by people who know me would be my Barma leather hat,
Mm.
which I kind of wear everywhere since it's so comfortable.
Mm.
Mm.
I wish I could wear a hat. I've got a big old pumpkin head, and nothing looks right on it.
Oh, no, you should take a look at Barma's brand of hats, especially their flat top leather hats.
Mm.
A friend of mine was in Australia, and like I suddenly got interested in it, and I figured, you know what, I burn under the sun now, so let's try a hat, and I don't want a baseball cap, so I went with a leather cowboy hat, and it's been great.
Wow, I don't know if I had a cowboy hat, it would be like a not a 10-gallon hat, but more like a 20-gallon hat.
Mm.
That radio
Well,
gives you a
that's
big
because
head.
that's no, I think that's just because there's so much gray matter from all that knowledge.
There's something in there. It doesn't really store much, I'll tell you that.
No, I'm sure it all comes out when you need it.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
or when somebody else doesn't need it, one of the one of the ways it'll come out one way or the other. So
Mm.
that really got you kind of jump started into the Irium style of streaming, which is, as we've told before, its own brand of streaming.
Hmm.
So once you found out what Irium was all about, was it an easy choice for you to give it a try, given the format it is?
I will admit I was a little bit worried because like many people who haven't like gone into VTubing or streaming, there's this belief that, of what am I going to say? What am I going to be
Hmm.
doing all this time, like while I'm online and streaming? Like, what topics am I going to cover? And especially with the Irium platform, because it is a vertical format, it is focused almost entirely on the VTuber, and the background is really just the background. It's not like Twitch or
Right.
YouTube where you can like have various things added in. The focus really is on the streamer,
Hmm.
and I was a little worried about that. But then I started sitting in on streams of the Ethereum VTubers,
Hmm.
and just mainly to get used to the application. And I saw that it's a lot of the interaction is very natural conversation style,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, and it felt more welcoming and like sort of synergistic instead of it being a purely one directional thing.
Mm. It is. I've kind of likened to a comparison between it and say a Twitch stream. A Twitch stream
Mm,
is you are streaming to a group of people as a whole for the most part, and in
mm.
Irium you're streaming to that same number of people but individually.
Yes, it's a smaller, more intimate group of people, so
Yeah.
the your focus isn't is going to be you're going to be able to give more focus to individual people within your stream
Hmm.
than say on YouTube or Twitch,
Yeah.
because those audiences can sort of fade into the background
Hmm.
quite a bit. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And still the lack of latency is really crazy.
Oh, yeah. So my day job is in the tech field, and
Hmm.
when I heard about the low latency capabilities, I was all over the industry room looking at their setups, and I for the life of me I couldn't figure out how they did it
Hmm.
until after I signed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the low latency really helps to increase engagement. It makes the stream and the VTuber more accessible to the chat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Coming from the radio field, we used to, well, first of all, our remote broadcast used to be over land phone lines, which was, the quality was terrible, but it got us there for the most part.
Yeah.
But then when we started going into internet streams and using satellite broadcasts and even um, more high tech things for the phone, Comrexes and that type of thing, there was always a delay. Um, Sometimes if you were doing over satellite, the delay would change as the game would go on. You'd,
Yeah.
and it was always different on different systems. So I'm used to some delay, uh, some little
Hmm. Hmm.
echo or something. So when I got on there and said hello to somebody, and they said hello almost, well, they did before I typed anything because it came up on the screen.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, wait a second here. If we'd had this back in the '80s, who knows what we would have done? Uh,
Yeah, it would have been wild.
it's well, I mean, the whole thing is crazy. I mean, we're talking over Discord now, which if we had this back in the '80s, maybe people would still be doing local radio now. um,
Well, I mean, you saw that happen a little bit with the transition to podcasts, where
yeah.
people were essentially starting up their own little radio stations.
Oh yeah,
At
yeah,
least that's how I saw it.
yeah, yeah,
And with Discord now, with the various voice channels and video streaming channels, it's kind of become like, hey, welcome to my studio.
mhm,
It's customized to the things
yeah,
and everyone's welcome in.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's more flexible.
Well, VTubing as a general rule is that too. I think anyway. Not being a VTuber myself, but I've interviewed a few.
Mm.
But do you get a chance now to present yourself the way you want to present yourself, and the
Yes.
the story behind you is yours, your narration. Um, the only way you have to bend that is if you allow it to. um, and it's very much a chance for you to present yourself the way you want to be presented. And do you think that's how it's going for you right now?
Uh, for the most part, it is. Like most other VTubers, I spent like the first week essentially trying to talk about my lore, and
Mhm.
as people came in, I found myself repeating it over and over again. So eventually, I switched to a more sort of like, eventually people understand the whole lore by covering the part that I'm covering, and
Right.
is essentially looping back at a later point in time. One of the people who was in my chat very early on, and she continues to be in my streams as someone else who's in the voice chat, is a user by the name of Moonlight.
Mm.
She is what I would describe as someone who has an abundant amount of gremlin energy. And what I found in talking with her first via chat and then later on voice was that I felt more connected with the people in my stream when I incorporated the ideas that they had. People have their own perception and interpretation of the lore and story, and sometimes they have ideas about how something could be changed differently,
Mm.
or how something like when you like for instance, my character has a massive mane of hair,
Right.
grew up in a forest,
Hmm.
and one of that Moonlight suggested was, well, if you grew up in the forest and you've never had a chance to really untangle your hair, who's to say there aren't, small woodland creatures living in your hair? And I thought about that and I'm like, you know what? You are right.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, you know what? Yes, there's at least one bird and one squirrel and possibly one raccoon in my hair.
Oh, I think you know about that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I've encountered raccoons face to face, and they're super friendly until they get bitey, and then yeah.
Yeah, just stay away from the food. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I live in a
Mm-hmm.
place where I've seen our trash pandas as
Uh,
large as Volkswagens out here. So like,
wow.
woof.
Yeah, and they're like dense muscle too. They're
Oh,
not they're not like lightweight creatures.
no, no, no. But if they don't want to go somewhere, they're not going to go. No
Mm-mm.
matter how you prod them with the broom, they're just going to kind of snarl at you a little bit.
Very much so.
Yeah, but I did go one time. I went out because we have some indoor outdoor cats, and there was a bunch of very young raccoons out there, about five, eating the food. So I went out there to chase them off, and it was the saddest thing because they all got scared, took off in different
Oh,
directions, and started yelling for each other. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I feel like such a heel. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Just don't eat the food.
Yeah, they're surprisingly intelligent. There was actually a family of raccoons that lived behind one of the apartments that before.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that have that little like corridor behind and back where your sliding glass door opens into. And
Hmm.
yeah, I would watch this mama raccoon, trotting by, and behind it were like three or four little smaller raccoons, and they're always together. The mama's always looking after them, and
Yeah.
it was kind of heartwarming.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why hearing them yell for each other, scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I the
Yeah.
bad guy here? I'm like,
No, it's just nature's way. It's just nature's way.
stupid nature. But for you and performing, like this is a performance, and
Mhm.
your voice is, and I'm sure you've heard it by more than a million people, is so naturally calm. Is that something that's
Ah,
you've always had, or have you worked on it?
so funny thing about my voice, this is actually pretty close to its natural state.
Mm,
So for the longest time, before I started VTubing, I actually really, really disliked my voice because of how it sounds when I record it.
mm-hmm.
And I realized that, and someone had actually explained this to me, that because I hear my voice internally with the bass coming from my chest,
Mm.
which doesn't necessarily carry over to the microphone, that's where my disconnect was.
Ah.
And I went through, recorded myself again and again, and just, desensitized myself to my voice. As far as the calm aspect of it, I that has always been the case,
Mm.
and it's something that I think I'm trying to work on, like sort of building on top of and
Mm.
expanding, because like I've tried singing and I don't have a singing voice yet,
Mm.
but one of the characteristics, which is the nice, calm, even tone, it also means that I don't have a lot of tonality in my voice when I try to sing, so it kind of comes out very flat.
Mm. I I
So
just can't
yeah, it's
sing.
it's definitely been with me.
I just
I'm
haven't
sorry,
been able
what?
to sing since my voice changed. So it's been like 40 some years since I've hit a note on purpose.
Oh, I totally know what you're saying, because like before high school, before puberty and stuff, like I could sing, like I could catch the notes,
Yeah,
and I was so proud of that,
yeah,
because I would get compliments from my parents and the aunts and uncles and everyone.
yeah.
And once puberty hit, I went through that awkward cracking voice phase.
That Brady Bunch song.
And yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's
so
seen
since
this.
then,
There's a Brady Bunch episode where that it's a later one because they're all in the studio
mm,
for some ungodly reason, and Peter's voice starts to crack, and they make that into a song. So
oh,
it's a meme and a half. But um,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. For me, I would get when I was in grade school and stuff, they would put me out for solos because I sang the loudest. And I'm like, I don't know whether I actually hit the notes. I don't remember. But they stuck me out there. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm not even getting close. I need to do something else. I'm just going to talk for the rest of my life.
I'm glad you chose that. You have a great radio voice.
Well, I appreciate that. It would have been nice if it also translated into being able to pay my bills, which at this point
Yeah.
is very tough to do on a local level. However, you actually have the perfect voice to do that with. Um, if you went over to your local public station and said, "I want to do the classical music show," they would hire you on the spot.
No, you're just being very kind and generous there. I
I'm
I
not.
don't think that my voice is suited for that.
It would be absolutely perfect. It would be absolutely perfect for it. They'd be like, "Where have you been?" Because it's very very much the NPR um, calm. The world is about to end, and we've got a little Beethoven for you.
Yes, let us go out, listening to a classic.
Yes,
Mm.
this is his fifth fugue in F minor. I'm going to play it on the sousaphone.
Uh,
um, but and have you ever thought about doing ASMR streams?
I have, but I tend to get, how do I say this? I tend to get lost in the details. So,
Mm.
one of the aspects of ASMR streaming would be that you would acquire one of the sort of head shaped dual microphone setups.
Mm.
And me being kind of a tech junkie and maker at heart, my first thought wasn't to, you know, take the money out and buy one of those
Yeah,
things. It's,
yeah,
hey, I can build one of these things. Let me just grab the parts off Amazon or AliExpress or wherever,
yeah.
and I'm just gonna 3D print the enclosure and get it done.
Oh
And
my God.
and I actually have one sitting next to me on my desk,
Oh,
which yeah.
and that's. I mean, it's
So
people don't really understand how microphones work. Um,
no, no, they don't.
Now we actually have a microphone at my job, which I most of my job is behind a couple of panes of bulletproof glass. that we have an intercom that doesn't work very well in between because the microphones are bad. But one of the microphones is definitely not one that you would put right in that situation. It's more of a crowd microphone where
Mm.
the dead spot is right in front of the microphone, but the rest of the room you can hear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's really terrible, and we end up using that microphone for the other microphone on the other side because that one, every time you turn it on, now it gets feedback. So
Oh,
yeah, I was like, next time you guys talk to me first before you get microphones, okay?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Didn't they have a sound guy or
no,
anything like that?
no, no, and I'm not working at a radio station anymore. It's a police station actually at the front desk, and
Mm.
they they have technical folks, but no microphone folks. So
Yeah, you would think a police station would be the one place you would want a sound guy, given all of the bare brick
oh
that's echoing everywhere.
oh, it definitely is not. You're not going to get a good recording there of anybody singing. Um, you could have Pavarotti in there, and it's still going to sound like me.
Yeah.
By the time it's done, it's gonna be pretty bad. But there's so many things that someone can do that is even away from the microphone that can make you sound better. A little bit of baffling can make a big difference. If you're in a room with a lot of windows, try to cover them with something that's not glass.
Right, right.
Yeah, there's and that's why people go in their closets and sing with a blanket over their head because it's first of all it probably isn't going to cost you anything, and secondly it is about as good a MacGyver as you could do for making your own home studio.
Totally.
Yeah,
When during the Irium event, I actually went into my closet to sing the Happy Birthday song because there's just a lot of ambient fan noise everywhere. Right now we are actually in my second bedroom that I use as a my office,
yeah,
and the mic is there and it's going through all the stuff it's connected. It looks like a mess,
yeah.
and the sound is clean because I've basically plastered the walls with as much sound absorbent and anti-reflection material as I could possibly get my hands on.
Wow.
And even then, right now and hopefully it's not a bad thing to like name company names, but I'm using NVIDIA's broadcast app,
Hmm.
which essentially uses AI to sort of like filter out all the background noise.
Ah, yeah.
So I could literally be right here opening a bag of chips, and the sound of the bag of chips would not go through.
That would be really cool because
Yeah,
they
it
don't like it
is.
when you do that on the radio on the air. It's
Yeah, no.
crunch, crunch, crunch.
Unless it's an ASMR stream, in
That's
which
true.
case,
That's
please
true.
crunch away.
That's true. And even with that, I don't think you'd need that great microphone because the voice is going to carry a lot of that. Um,
Yeah.
with it. And people tend to go out and get um, the most expensive microphone in the world, but that may not be perfect for you.
Right.
If you're just talking and you don't have an extremely high or extremely low voice, or you're not going to sing into the microphone, you just need a microphone.
Yeah, most like even the one I'm using right now, it's a pretty standard one. The only thing that's unique about it is that it has an XLR output,
Uh huh.
just because, all my other audio equipment has that.
Right.
But before this one, I was actually using a Behringer XM8500,
Mm.
which is a $20 microphone
Yeah.
and very well suited for singing because unless you commit to put outputting sound directly into it,
Hmm.
it everything else is deadened. So it was
Mm.
great at isolating just my voice.
That's good.
Mm,
That's good. Yeah.
yeah.
In the frequency response too is
Hmm.
big. Um, your usual average not Radio Shack microphone will probably do you okay if you're just gonna be talking. And
Yeah.
if you've got a very high voice, you got a very low voice, you're going to be playing instruments into it or something. That's when you start clipping the high and low in it, and
Yeah.
it will sound smeared or overgain in some things. Now some people know how to rig up a board and work around those things.
Mm,
For me, over all
definitely.
that time was still trial and error, uh,
Yeah.
especially with the older boards, which were beautiful pieces of work with lots of bells and whistles and knobs. Not all of which did anything, but you could pretend. um, there's something to be said for the dial spinners out there for sure.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
even today, that they really are needed. So tell me about the Irium event. I mean, we did some. Of course, I've talked to a lot of folks from Irium now, and I'm thankful for that.
Hmm.
And all great folks, very talented folks, and we did a little special on it before it came on. Um, that that was a lot of people and a lot of
It,
work to get it on the air, wasn't it?
yeah, I actually saw you releasing the videos, and I'm like, wow, like, damn, he's a machine. Like he's really getting through all that. It's that's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. It's this is going to be like 694 or 5 or 6, um, and in a little under 2 years. Um, and I enjoy it too much to worry about that. I'm having the time of my life with it. But um, how while you were hearing and being a part of what was going on with the Irium 1 year celebration,
Hmm.
um, how did you feel about it and being a part of something that so many other people were being a part of?
Honestly, it felt a little bit like as if it was a large family gathering.
Huh.
Like all the Irium US users, like I've only really like kept in daily in contact with a handful, like Celeste Orion,
Mhm.
and Coffee Cat, Fable, and Snafu, and also Tiny Ruler. As there's a couple of other ones, but I'll end up rattling a long list. But they've all been super great. They've all been super helpful and supportive even before I debuted. Like they were happy to share their knowledge freely, and so from day one, I felt like everyone was a mentor, and it very quickly removed the fear I had
Mhm.
that I would be bothering people if I asked simple questions, and that is extremely welcoming.
Yeah,
So when the 1 year anniversaries kicked off and they created the Discord server and people just started registering, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a lot more US
yeah,
streamers that I had no idea were out there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it made it felt like a get together. It's like, oh, I didn't know I had a cousin on the East Coast, and I didn't know that my aunt, who's now living in Hawaii, you know, has a whole family there. It was like that, and
yeah.
then to also hear about Irium Japan,
Hmm.
and how they basically came in and also like tagged and followed and friended people.
Hmm.
It really is. It really felt like being part of a large family,
Yeah,
and to know that whether it's very deeply or somewhat shallowly, you are connected.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
that's the feeling I had about the event.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how about Celeste? You could power the East Coast the with with what Celeste
Oh my
brings.
gosh. Yeah, yeah, she is a force to be reckoned with,
Jiminy
and
Christmas.
an
Uh,
amazing person.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And hats off to her and Coffee Cat, by the way. Um,
Hmm.
got a chance to do both interviews, which is pretty funny. Um, the it's definitely a different animal.
Mm.
Um, in the same zoo, a different part of the zoo. Um, it streaming with Arium seems to be different in the ways we've described it. Um, but it also I see so many people adding their own flair to it. Um,
Hmm.
there's so many creative people that are finding ways to get that talent out through what Irium's doing. I'm thoroughly amazed by it. I really am, and I don't know. There's more innovations coming. I'm sure. I don't know the direction they're going to go, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Same here. In fact, one of the things that I realized after I started streaming was that my mood improved.
Mm,
I actually found myself wanting to get up in the morning and wanting to get through my day, get ready for my stream,
yeah.
and you know, just do it. And I thought, and this is from someone who thought that they wouldn't have enough to talk about,
Mm,
and it turns out like it's vibing, right? You're vibing with your stream,
mm,
and there's a very coupled kind of experience during the stream, and it's almost like chatting with friends.
yeah. 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 It's a campfire type thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now your head the campfire, uh, but uh, but it's also in a park where other folks who have campfires can come over and say hello too. Um,
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
and that type of teamwork that I've seen. Um, there's always going to be a trip here and there that you have to take, but
Mm.
the is pretty amazing, and I think they've got the right folks who are right in the front of it right now. Um, and it's not going to be for everybody. I mean, that's just the way things are. Maybe some folks are going to be more comfortable streaming the other way with the games and such, and
Yeah.
that's what makes ball games, folks. It's but to see how folks are able to communicate um, with so many different people and see their reaction too. And uh,
Mhm.
when you realize that they're coming back for you and your personality, how does that hit you? Um, does it build you up? Does it confuse you?
I, I I think the second or third day after I debuted, and I realized that there were in fact people coming to see me specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my initial reaction was shock and fear. I honestly didn't expect it, and like I said, I really didn't care for my voice, and I thought I must have sounded bad. And like yourself, people were commenting like, your voice has a nice tonality to it. I'm like, really,
Mm-hmm.
really. um, but after that, it felt very affirming.
Mm,
It's like I'm here. I'm presenting myself through my character, and there is an audience for it. Someone out there is essentially feeling the message,
mm.
and
And wanting
that
to be a
makes me
part of it.
feel,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
When I realized that, it just kind of like I kind of got like a little teary eyed because I'm like that that kind of connection is very difficult to find for me
yeah,
historically.
yeah,
So, to experience that and with such a vibrant group of people, it was very humbling.
yeah, yeah. To be to not just be recognized for something you're doing, but be recognized and enjoyed for what you're doing.
Yes.
Um, you use the word affirmed, which is a great word. I almost think of the word justified. Um,
Mm.
that you're like, yeah, there's a reason why I'm here now.
In many ways, yes. In many ways, yes.
Yeah, and heck, I even had it happen to me the other day, and I haven't been on the radio itself for 7 years. And somebody said, "You used to be on the radio here."
Oh,
And
nice.
I remember doing. I'm like, "Geez, this has been a long time since I was on there, and you still. What did I do wrong that you remember me?" But it was still nice to hear, that somebody remembered that you did something like that, and you guys get to keep up.
Yeah.
I kind of relay it back to the old DJ days where people tuned in for the personality and wanted to keep up with it, no matter what the personality was doing. It's just that in Irium, I think even more than with streaming on other services, it is a lot more reliant on the personality.
Yes, it is. There's no graphical tricks that you can, you know, display
Mm.
or make use of to drive engagement. It's really just you and your voice driving engagement.
Hmm. And voice and personality, and you can have the
Hmm.
best model in the world, but it's still voice and personality that pulls it through. Now, we've been talking a lot of this stuff, but I want to ask about how do you get your own website?
My own website,
Yeah,
like on the web, like www.kuroyusha.com website.
yeah, like the website that has all your stuff on it.
Ah, so I set that up myself. Um, Coming from an IT background,
Mm.
registering domain names, having that hooked up, to content delivery networks,
Mm.
and essentially backend host it using GitHub or something like that, so that the actual hosting of the content costs $0.
Oh,
Um, it's actually it's something that I've done like for the last several years. It's I maintain something like two dozen domain names that I've used for various projects in the past, and I'm sentimental, so I don't let any of them go, and they kind of build up, and the annual bill for them like keeps coming, and I'm just like, but I can't let those go. I have memories of each of those domains. So yeah, so my website is super super simple. It uses something called a static site generator.
mm-hmm.
It uses the generator's name is called Hugo, and it's a free to use piece of software. It's open source, and what I found was, yeah, I can just use that, send it to Cloudflare, and have them handle the processing of it,
Mm-hmm.
generate the assets, push it to their network, and it's done. I don't need to maintain a server. I don't need to maintain a database or anything. If I want to make changes, I just to the repository and push it out, and it's automatic.
Yep, we got it, the link for it, and the links we found is going to be in the description for this interview. Um,
Mm,
it mentions artwork. Um,
yes.
so not only do you have the tech stuff rattling around up there, but artwork as well. How long have you been uh, working in the art side of things?
For the art side of things, my skills, unfortunately, are very utilitarian in nature.
Mm-hmm.
um, I did take several art classes, like life studies and such in college.
Mm-hmm.
I my For me, it's just I spend so much time with the computers that when it comes time to drawing, it's really more like I can do diagramming and compositing and layout. So I think on my website I put an indicator there for the artwork because I wanted to make sure that when I posted artwork there, like of my character or of some other asset that some other artist did, I would give them full credit.
Mm-hmm.
So they would link to their back to their profiles.
Ah.
I and I definitely want to make sure that I don't accidentally claim credit for something which doesn't belong to me.
Mm. Well, yeah, and unfortunately that's pretty easy to do. It's whether you intend to or not, it does.
Right.
You may not know exactly, and then people are finding that out with their models, where they get a bit of a following. Now they want to do some merchandise off of it, and realize that their model isn't theirs to do it.
Right, right, yeah. The
um,
commercial licensing.
yeah, yeah. It's the old licensing thing that'll get you. We used to get it in radio all the time, where someone would come in for a commercial. I would like this popular song behind my commercial. No, no, you can't
Yeah,
because it's not licensed to do that. We we actually had somebody come in and
yeah.
want the music to the Fat Albert's cartoon show behind us.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
no, no, we're not doing that. What? No, why would you want that in the first place? Crazy goof. Mm.
Yeah, the matter of ownership of assets is, from my perspective, it's super important,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the way in which Irium has laid it out very clearly from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the early access program, they will help you create a PNG tuber,
Yeah.
and with the understanding that that asset belongs to Irium until after you've fulfilled your requirements, which is to
Yeah.
meet the number of hours broadcasted as just spread across X number of days.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And I think that's yeah.
it's pretty upfront, and
Mm-hmm.
and cut and dry. There's not like a standard, or a really small font language thing at the bottom. While you're standing on your hands and you're you're in the shower.
Right. Yeah, I
That
actually read through their legal document, and yeah, of all the legal documents I've had to read, that one seemed to be very cut and dry, and
yeah,
it was very refreshing.
yeah. It's you got to see it. Then and there are going to be obviously more people joining in
Mm.
and being a part of. Well, I see a lot of people on streams. I said a quick hello to you the other day on stream, but I see a lot of
I saw
people.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, see a lot of people who are also Irium streamers jumping on other people's streams and saying hello,
Hmm.
and being a part of it. That's part of that family mentality you were talking about before.
Yes, exactly that. And in some cases, when a streamer is done with their stream, they need sort of like a winding down
Hmm.
or a decompression. And oddly enough, the best way to decompress is to like sit in on someone's stream and just sort of mentally disengage for a few seconds or a few minutes.
Yeah,
And, yeah, it's a virtuous cycle almost.
yeah. So, I know that you started up channels and other streaming services. Are you going to
Hmm.
give those a try, or are you going to stick with Irium for a while?
I think Irium will be my main base for at least the next year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike other streamers, I don't necessarily have a strong desire to sort of like grow my foundation and my follower base,
Mm-hmm.
since I'm not really trying to hit those various milestones in order to get monetization going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing this really as sort of, and it's weird to say this, but it's sort of like self help slash just making friends.
Mm. Yeah. So that's it's very. You can't just leave that hanging out there with self help
Oh,
and not expect a follow up.
so I can definitely follow up on that. So from the perspective of making friends, it's if you work in a field where layoffs happen fairly frequently, as
Mhm.
we are noticing it happening now,
Right.
um, or that you change jobs or you work on a contract basis, it becomes very difficult to establish strong and meaningful friendships.
Right.
Everything has a tendency of feeling very guarded or transactional because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you don't know who's going to be gone
Right.
come the next layoff or restructuring.
Right.
Here at Irium, that doesn't exist, at least not in the form that made it toxic for me in the workplace.
Right.
Here, everyone can support everyone else without it being detrimental to themselves.
Right.
And in fact, supporting other people is actually beneficial to yourself because it essentially helps you to strengthen and expand your social network and your contacts.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always going to be someone who knows something that you don't know about, and being able to be in contact with them to share ideas is one of the best ways to borrow another term, to cross pollinate
Mhm.
um, between streamers.
Right.
And it's something that I've gotten from I think there's a streamer called who's also a DJ called Enzo,
Hmm.
who's a friend of Celeste's, and we've been talking about motion capture devices and Slime VR, as well as like what kind of software DJs use for streaming music to their decks.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that was a thing. How do I get music into that system?
Right. Right.
And so it's yeah, it helps one grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It does.
as far as the sort of self help aspect, I find that being here as a VTuber talking to people in the stream and essentially playing out my character, I'm able to once again, I guess, tap into some creativity that I had lost a while back.
Yeah.
And also I feel I don't know if this is the correct way to say this, but I guess I feel more free to act,
Mm-hmm.
more free to express concepts and ideas here
Yeah.
because it is an open platform in many ways.
Right. Right. But you get to be more you than you normally do.
Exactly.
It,
Yes. Thank you for putting
yeah.
it so succinctly.
Yeah. It's good. And that's the type of a sentence that would drive an English teacher crazy. But I always think that's fun anyway. Um, but the truth is you just have just enough shield, for the lack of a better term, with
Hmm.
the avatar and the model to give you that freedom to expand a little bit and um, show exactly what you got. You're still putting yourself out there, but you're also not quite putting yourself out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's a safe way to project myself out and test out ideas.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's working really well. I mean, you're doing a great job with it, and
Thank you.
I really do appreciate you coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking with you, and
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Thank
and
you for having me.
and please keep in touch. Let me know what's going on,
Hmm.
um, folks. You got to hear what Kuro Yuusha's got going on. If you want to have a pleasant time with someone on Irium, make sure you check out what Kuro's got going on. We'll have the of course the Irium app on your phone. That's how you do it.
Mm.
We have the website up on the links along as Kuro's website as well. So check out everything.
Yes.
Check out everything and make sure and support this outstanding talent. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.